Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural ceremony of the annual conference of the Neurological Society of India, Kerala chapter.
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This poem, originally in Sanskrit, translates to: May good befall all, may there be peace for all, may all be fit for perfection, and may all experience that which is auspicious. May all be happy, may all be healthy, may all experience what is good, and let no one suffer. Thank you.
Madam Governor Srimati Saraswati Sadashivam, Sri Justice P. Sadashivam, the Honorable Governor of Kerala, Professor M. Chambasivan, the founding President and Patron NSIKC, Professor P. Srikumar, Senior Neurosurgeon, Patron NSIKC, Dr. Mohanlal, the President of the Kerala NSI Kerala chapter, Dr. Raymond Morris, President Trivandrum Neuro Club, Dr. K. Parameshwaran, Secretary NSIKC, and Dr. Abraham Kurvilla, the Organizing Secretary of this conference. Today, it's a momentous occasion for the NSIKC. That a recent report published by the World Health Organization stated that about 1 billion people worldwide suffer from neurological disorders, and that 6.8 million people die annually from these disorders. So it's a very severe burden of the neurological disorders. And they say that it accounted for 4.2% of the global burden of disease in the year 1996, and which touched 6.29% in 2005. In our country, in the various regions, the prevalence of neurological disorders vary from 967 to 4070 per 100,000 population. And the amount of neurologists which is available for a population of more than 1 billion is just a mere 800 neurologists. So by calculation, it has been projected that for at least for serving a population of 200,000, the requirement would be more than 5,000 neurologists, which means that we have to create more and more institutes, more and more neurologists getting trained in these diseases. In Kerala, there are 126 neurologists for a population of 31 million with a ratio of approximately 1:250,000, which is much better than the average from the whole country. And this has a reasonable distribution across the 12 of the 14 districts. So with these things, I go to my duty of welcoming the dignitaries on the dais. Sri Justice P. Sadashivan was born in the Kadapanallur village near Bhavani in Erode district in the year 1949. He rose to the position of the judge of the Madras High Court in 1996. And then he soon rose to the post of the judge of the Supreme Court in the year 2007. He was sworn in as the 40th Chief Justice of India in the year 2013, and which position he graced for 1 full year. Sri Justice Sadashivam, the Honorable Governor, has to his credit several path-breaking judgments, which includes the Reliance Gas judgment, wherein he observed that in a national democracy like ours, the national assets belong to the people. He also delivered the verdict in the famous Staines case, and he upheld the conviction of Dara Singh. And along with Justice B.S. Chauhan, he delivered the judgment in the 1993 Mumbai blast case, which is quite became famous because of the involvement of the actor Sanjay Dutt, and he was imprisoned for a 5-year imprisonment. And this was supposed to be the biggest case heard in the history of Supreme Court. He also delivered another important judgment in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination, and he accused case holding that unexplained and unreasonable delay in disposal of mercy petitions by the president leads to commutation of the death sentence into the life sentence. So we have such an august, honorable dignitary. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the NSIKC and the organizing committee for having blessed us on this very premier occasion. Welcome, madam, also. Next, I would like to welcome Professor Sambashivan. Professor Sambashivan doesn't really require an introduction to this crowd, but for the sake of the new members, he has been the honorary president of the World Federation of Neurological Surgery Society. And he has been described as the best ever outgoing student of the CMC Vellore. He established the first neurosurgery department in Kerala and started the first postgraduate program in MCH in our Trivandrum. And he was instrumental in bringing up the first hospital block at the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Science and Technology. His son is also following him, and he's also a neurosurgeon. And Dr. Sambashivan is quite popular with his spiritual activities, and he's been traveling both the spiritual field and also the medical field. One of his quoted sayings which I got from the Hindu is that staying rooted to the rational and yet believing the unexplained is his way to remain connected with science and divinity. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the NSIKC and on my personal behalf of the organizing committee. And madam, the next, Professor Sri Kumar, is an alumni of the CMC Vellore, a very popular consultant neurosurgeon in Cochin, and he was the first to get into the private sector and prove that a neurosurgeon can succeed in neurosurgery. And he established the neurosurgery practice in Cochin. And he has always been associated with our Neurological Society of Kerala chapter, being its patron for many, many years. So I welcome you, sir, with madam, to this August meeting. Then I want to welcome our president, Dr. Mohan Lal, who has been the president of the NSIKC for the last 1 year. And it is quite a fortunate moment that his mentor is also occupying the seat with him, and he is the first neurosurgeon in Thrissur, and he has worked as a senior consultant in the Ministry of Health in the UAE. So I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the society and on my personal behalf. Professor Rajshekaran Nair, who is a significant function today, is to respect him for his overall contributions to the neurological sciences. He has been a teacher par excellence. He has coached many students in the Trivandrum Medical College. He has started the Trivandrum Medical College, being its director and professor of the Department of Neurology, and he has several scores of students who has been tutored by him. I welcome you, sir, to this meeting with your madam. Thank you. I also welcome Dr. Parameswaran, who is the very dynamic secretary of the NSIKC. He is practicing at the medical center, Brain and Spine Center, as the chief neurologist. I welcome you. And I have welcomed Dr. Abraham Kurvilla, who is the professor of neurology at the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute and has been instrumental in conducting this function in the most august manner. I welcome you, sir. Thank you. With these few words, I welcome one and all the dignitaries in the audience, and I wish you a good function. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. K. Parameswaran, Secretary of the Neurological Society of India, Kerala chapter, to present the report.
It is indeed a proud privilege for me to stand here before you representing the society as secretary. It is a mere coincidence that 3 years ago, here in Trivandrum only, I got elected as the secretary. During this tenure, I was fortunate to work under Professor Suresh Nair, Professor M.D. Nair and Mohanlal sir, 3 legends in our field. I was lucky to get unconditional and limitless support and guidance from all executive committee members of the society during these years. In this moment, I would like to mention specifically 2 names, Professor C. Kumar and Sojanaib sir, very senior members of the society whose guidance and support towards me during these years. Whenever there is a problem, they helped me a lot. During the last 3 years, we are able to conduct 3 midterm meetings and 3 annual meetings. If we measure those meetings with the scale of delegate attendance, delegate active participation, academic content, finally the message we carry home at the end of each meeting, surely all those meetings are blockbuster success. The society is very thankful for this remarkable achievement to the organizing team of each meeting and to all respected society members who made and turned each of them grand success. I am coming from a neurology, neurosurgery, neuroradiology center, referral center. We are working there together as a team, helping each other. The end result of this teamwork definitely is a better service to the patients. We try to bring this teamwork and harmony inside our society also. We should realize that we, the neurologists, neurosurgeons, neuroradiologists, are very much needed, strong pillars of one structure or 3 spokes of a strong steering. And new interests, especially those who are not working in academic setup. The society is always very key talents from both specialities or allied specialities for presentations to fine-tune their skills. We try to collect opinion from all different corners and we accepted majority's opinion. In addition, the society was more active in situation when we face. We should be more active in this respect and aspect to strengthen our unity in future also. Today, I am giving
the 2015 annual meet of the Neurological Society of India, Kerala chapter was an academic feast today. For all the delegates who attended this meeting from various parts of Kerala, the high standards maintained by the speakers and the thought-provoking questions by the audience generated great enthusiasm among the participants.
Namasadase, Namasadaspasaye, Namasakhinam, Puroganam, Chakshushe. In other words, I bow to the audience and also to the people who are on the head of the tables and on the dais. Namasadase, Namasadaspasaye, Namasakhinam, all my friends, includes both ladies and gentlemen. Puroganam Chakshushe, my teachers like Professor Jacob Chandy and Professor Ramurthy, and who have led the field in the Neurological Society as neurosurgeons of great repute. Also, their vision has contributed much for the development of the society as well as the science in the country. So, of all this, I must say that we are blessed to have Chief Justice, who was the Chief Justice, to be present here with us. Because as for Tantric traditions, it is said that there are 5 duties of the God: Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana and Anugraha. And when we think in terms of Anugraha, we think in terms of Sadashiva. And Sadashiva Atmane, Anugraha Atmane, it is said. So, he has come here to bless us. Not only this society and also this meeting, but also all the future endeavors which the society members are going to take up.
Respected Srimati Saraswati Sadashivam, Honorable Governor Sri Sadashivam, our patrons, Professor and my teacher Sambashivan, Professor Rajshekharan Nair and Dr. Sri Kumar, other dignitaries on the dais, invited guests, and my dear colleagues. This morning, we had a feast on advancing frontiers of knowledge. And after that explosive keynote address, I promise you I will bring you down to Mother Earth. It is indeed a lifetime honor for me to address you this evening in the august presence of our beloved Governor, who has already shown us how governance shall be. First of all, let me congratulate the organizing committee led by Dr. Abraham Kuruvilla, the Hercules behind the whole show, and Dr. Muralitharan Nair for a very commendable job they have done in organizing the meeting in a very grand manner. They have set the bar very high for the future organizers. A few words about our Kerala chapter of the Neurological Society of India. As you all know, it was formed in 1994 October, and its first meeting was in 1995 January in Kottayam. We have completed 20 years, and we have been meeting twice a year without a break. For technical reasons, we have to register now under the Charitable Societies Act, and we have to take a new name. The registration process is on. Having established its existence now, it is time for us to think we can do anything more than the 2 yearly meetings. In this regard, I have a suggestion. Having been in private practice for a long time, I know the difficulties of being alone in a crowd when it calls for decision making in a difficult situation. For those who are in academic institutions, it is not a problem because help is always around. I feel the society can tap the enormous potentials of the IT revolution and help our hapless colleagues through our newly launched website nsikc.com. Please look into it. I must at this instance also thank Dr. Parameswaran, who has been a big support for me for the whole of last year.
Awards seldom go to the deserving. Very often, awards are picked up by the undeserving or pocketed or even purchased by the unscrupulous. From the prestigious national awards, including the Padma Awards, to the much smaller local and regional awards, this is the sad spectacle and situation. Against this backdrop, when we view today's function, we are filled with joy and pride. The Kerala chapter of Neurological Sciences is today honoring one of the most outstanding pioneers of our fraternity. I have been asked to formally introduce the recipient of the award, Dr. Rajashekharan Nair, and I am delighted to do that. Let me begin from the very beginning. 65 long years ago, 65 is quite long in an individual's life, Rajashekharan and I were bench mates. I am not referring to the bench which our beloved Honorable Governor adorned so admirably till recently. I am talking about the very rough, hard benches of the primary section of a government school. The government model school, Trivandrum, which is just 2 kilometers away from this venue. We started our journey together. Formally presenting to you the awardee for this year, Dr. Kunyanpilla Rajashekharan Nair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request the Honorable Governor of Kerala, Shri Justice P. Sathasivam, to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Dr. K. Rajashekharan Nair, Emeritus Professor of Neurology, Medical College Hospital, Trivandrum. Thank you, sir. I request the dignitaries on the dais to join us in lighting the lamp.
Dr. K. Rajashekharan Nair, Lifetime Achievement Awardee, Dr. Mohanlal, Dr. M. Sambasivam, Dr. K. Parameshwaran, Dr. Muralidharan Nair, Dr. Abraham Kuruvilla, Dr. Sri Kumar, and other invitees, ladies and gentlemen. In the midst of doctors, particularly neurologists, I am a very small man, maybe first citizen of this state. I think the association, only in that capacity, might have invited me. And compared to the experience of the awardee, Dr. K. Rajashekharan Nair and Mr. Dr. P. Sri Kumar, their experience is my age, of course, 65 plus. Before proceeding further, I want to inform one experience to this August gathering. I noticed when I was a young lawyer, many doctors visiting magistrates court. In our judicial system, the lower level or first court is the magistrate and munsib. Lot of crowd, many accused, many prosecution officers, witnesses, and I noticed doctors are also. One day when I was a young lawyer, one doctor complained to me, "Sir, I am waiting here from 10 o'clock. I am unnecessarily detained here, now it is 1 o'clock. My case was not called, I don't know when the public prosecutor will put me in the box to cross-examine and mark certain medical documents." No, I felt very sad because we are not supposed to keep the doctors in a crowd like a court, particularly in the midst of accused. So when I got an opportunity, that is on 8/1/96, when I was appointed as a judge of the Madras High Court, in the first full court meeting, meaning thereby monthly once or once in a fortnight, all the judges meet to take some policy decision on the administrative side. At that time I was a very, very young judge. In the proceedings, the meeting was presided over by the Chief Justice of the High Court, after finishing all the items, at the end he asked, the Chief Justice of the Madras High Court asked any other subject to be discussed, any other item. Then, with the permission, being a young judge, in a very humble way, I raised my hands. Chief, I have one doubt. Why not we clarify? Then I narrated the position of the doctors visiting magistrate courts at the lower level. I suggested to all the judges that we should issue circular to all the courts. Our circular is binding on all the subordinate courts in Tamil Nadu. We must convey a message that whenever a doctor comes for official work, his or her case should be called immediately. He need not wait for the turn. Then record his or her statement, whatever you want, and ask them to leave the court, because a doctor's presence in the hospital is a must. And everybody, including my Chief Justice, then Chief Justice, accepted. Next day, by way of a circular, we issued a direction to all the courts. This is the one, I thought this is the occasion I can convey my effort. But only thing, I'm sorry to say, many young doctors going to magistrate court, they are not carrying their white coat, professional coat, and at least the stethoscope. Sometimes in the lighter vein. Sometimes few go to the court in a cowboy dress. So magistrate not possible to identify in the lighter vein. Then coming to our today's subject, I have immense pleasure to be with you this fine evening to inaugurate the annual conference of the Neurological Society of India, Kerala chapter. At the very outset, I would like to greet the distinguished delegates and eminent speakers who are assembled here to make the conference a grand success. I would also compliment the Kerala chapter of Neurological Society of India on its initiative to organize the anniversary in a most befitting manner. As a matter of fact, it is the Trivandrum Neuro Club which functions under the aegis of Neurological Society of India that is playing the host of this significant meet. The club consists of neurologists, neurosurgeons, neuroradiologists, neuroanesthesiologists, neuropathologists of Kerala. In short, it represents all different streams of neurology that contribute to the comprehensive treatment and cure of various ailments. It merits mention that the Kerala chapter has completed 19 years after its inception in the year 1995. Neurosurgeons are often called to the emergency department to assess and evaluate various acute nervous disorders. Their system face an emergency. In such cases, neurological interventions level led to prompts, I am sure, will be dealt in depth in the sessions that are to follow. I have always felt that with the advancement of science and technology in modern times, the very process of diagnosis and treatment has undergone a sea change worldwide. The practicing doctors are now provided with ever so many devices that can do wonders in dealing with the different kinds of diseases. Several diseases that were considered to be fatal are no more so. A lot of serious ailments that gave sleepless nights to both patients and doctors are nowadays treated with precision, much to the relief of all concerned. International bodies like World Health Organization are on the forefront of such a revolutionary transition, and not only humankind but all living beings are now reaping the fruits of modern science. This, of course, is a kind of miracle, and we have to be ever thankful to the pioneering and dedicated efforts of medical doctors and scientists who strove day in and day out towards achieving this end. In spite of such accomplishments and achievements, why is it that several new ailments crop up time and again to affect man and his existence? Maybe this is an irony of nature that mankind is destined to encounter such new diseases. Experts point out that the basic cause is nothing but the fast life and stress as well as strain associated with it that is instrumental in the occurrence of similar threats. Full discussions. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. Kairaly Nair, Emeritus Professor of Neurology, Medical College Hospital, Trivandrum, to address the gathering.
Honorable Governor, Madam Governor, distinguished colleagues on the dais and off the dais, particularly my colleagues Dr. Sri Kumar, Dr. Sambishwan, and a host of others, and my friends. I really do not know what I should say, excepting thank you very much. I repeat, thank you very much. I was told that I should talk. I don't know what to talk. Perhaps I may conclude, Yedichami te tadastu. That means, whatever may happen, the way by which I wish to you all. I repeat, Yedichami te tadastu. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Honorable Governor, Sri Justice P. Sathashivam.
I welcome again all of you to this meeting. Let me say a few words. My perception about the dignitaries on the dais, and then I will also be telling few things about this meeting. The question of inviting a dignitary for our meeting came up when we were planning this meeting few weeks ago. But what we thought was, who will be the ideal person to come here and inaugurate a society which is formed within the state of Kerala, and as an umbrella society under the parent organization, the Neurological Society of India. We felt there is nobody other than our Honorable Governor who is head of state, and he will be our appropriate person to come and inaugurate a state organization which is holding its annual meeting. And my first meeting and the only meeting with our Honorable Governor was a few weeks ago, and I contacted the ADC and Mr. Karthik, IPS, and also Rajiv Ranjan, who is from the Navy. And I said, this is the purpose for my visit to the Raj Bhavan. And they really facilitated that meeting, first of all, after checking with our Honorable Governor. I went there, I met our Governor, and I felt that he need not have that sort of approach, I thought, because has been the head of the judiciary, but I felt he is a down-to-earth individual who was not carrying that aura with him as a former Chief Justice of India. Moreover, when he asked me about the meeting, I mentioned to him about the origin of this Kerala chapter, how it was formed, And also then he started talking about the medical science in this country, and I felt, prima facie, I felt our governor is very much interested in medical science. And it is appropriate, as Dr. M.D. Nair said, that the inauguration has been taking place on the National Science Day. We are, as Dr. Sambasivan also mentioned, by the name of Sadashivam, I think we are destined to be blessed by Honorable Governor, and I strongly feel, I place it on record on behalf of the organizing committee and also on behalf of the Neurological Society of India, our Honorable Governor has made a mark in the legendary history of our Neurological Society of India Kerala chapter, and is going to remain. Next, I would like to mention or talk about a few words. I know the time is limited. As per protocol, we need to finish in 1 hour. Dr. Sambasivan has been a known legendary figure in this country. But my perception about Dr. Sambasivan is that he is a very humble man, number one. Number two, he has ignited the spirit of excellence in neuroscience in our country. Sir, the flame you have ignited in the neuroscience history of India is going to continue forever. And we are thankful to you for coming and attending our meeting and saying few words which were really, really, really impressive for the entire crowd, and to emulate and follow what you have said. Regarding Dr. P. Srikumar, actually I didn't have much interaction with Dr. Srikumar. Till maybe recently when we were organizing this meeting, I had to call him on a couple of occasions, and I have met him in our executive committee meeting because we have taken up the organization of this conference. Dr. Srikumar, I felt, is very articulate, and he has a real cognitive skills to solve a problem when it comes to issues which needs some sort of decorum and protocol in functioning of a meeting and conducting a meeting. And moreover, I felt his communicative skills were very excellent in whatever issue or matter I have discussed with him. Sir, we are honored to have your presence here as a first-time lifetime achievement awardee. I would like to say a few words also about Dr. Rajshekharan Nair, who is the recipient of this award. We were in two institutions. When I joined Sri Chitra, Dr. Rajshekharan Nair has been in the medical college. As you know, generally we are in a kind of, I would say, like a parrot in the cage in Sri Chitra, because we usually don't have much communication with the medical college. But that trend has changed now. So when I joined, maybe for 10 years or 5-6 years, I never had an interaction with Dr. Rajshekharan Nair. But I was a silent admirer of Dr. Rajshekharan Nair based on his body language and his style of speaking and presenting a problem. The real style of communication and the language skills, I was really impressed. That is one. Second thing is the discussion of a case, how he comes up with the proper diagnosis and how he approaches a case. I was really impressed by that. And I was a silent admirer of you for many years. Luckily, I got an opportunity to speak about him, irrespective of my communication or interaction with him. There was one occasion when Dr. Rajshekharan Nair sir was given the presidential position of our organization, and we gave a welcome to him in our Sri Chitra. That is the first time I had a chance to speak about him. And sir, although I was a silent admirer, I also wanted to emulate your clinical skills many times. And I'm very glad that you are here and you are appropriately positioned to receive this award as the Lifetime Achievement Award and it is a pride for us that you are getting this award. Let me say a few words about our President of the Association. President of the Association, Dr. Mohanlal, I had more interactions now than I ever had before because of this meeting. And Dr. Mohanlal is a very upright person, and he calls the spade a spade, irrespective of what audience it is or whatever the community is, he will say that. And I respect his way of communication and the integrity with which he upholds his position as the President of Neurological Society of India, Kerala chapter. I thank you very much for your encouraging communications you had with me. Let me say a few words about my chairman of the department and also the chairman of this organizing committee. If one has to perform, one has to leave that individual free. And I thank you very much for having confidence in me and letting me free to do whatever needed to be done. At the same time, he had a vigilant eye on everything what I do. And that is how a chairman has to position himself and monitor things. Thank you very much. Let me say a few words about Dr. Parameswaran, who has been a product of Sri Chitra, but he has been conducting his position as the Secretary of the Neurological Society of India, Kerala chapter, very well. And many a times we also had interactions during this organization of the meeting. I appreciate your skills as a secretary of our organization, and thank you very much. Now, no program can be successful and more blessed than the presence of the family of our distinguished guests. Mrs. Sadashivam, the Honorable Governor's wife and the family are here. Dr. Rajshekaran Nair's family, wife, madam, and children and grandchild also is here. I think what a graceful occasion for this meeting. To be, really it is adding color. Dr. Srikumar and Mrs. Srikumar also here. I feel that the presence of all these family members really adds grace to this occasion and adds more significance to this meeting. And I also want to thank each and every member of our organizing committee to conduct this meeting and helping me with whatever assignments I have given to, and they have done it and raised it to the dignity of a fine art, I have to say. I don't want to name anybody because I know I'm going to miss someone in that acknowledgement. So I'm going to give a blanket thank you for everybody who has helped me to organize this meeting. Thank you so much. And final thing, irrespective of whatever our Honorable Justice is sitting here, but I am sure our Honorable Justice knows that irrespective of all the regulations which are prevalent in the country, we cannot hold a meeting successfully with this dignity and valor without support from the pharma companies and the scientific partners who are here today. And I am also surprised also by the participation of the pharmaceutical companies, I mean scientific partners. I call them scientific partners. They are promoting the science in this country, and I don't think the judiciary as such should be making any obstacle in that for conducting meetings for the advancement of science.